opportunities, avenues anew, trying to find an audience while you're trying to find your voice. All of that and more. Episode 44 of Horrible Writing.
That will never work. You can't put yourself seriously. Don't. Oh my God, that's other things you can do. That's bad. You probably should find other hobbies. You ever learn how to spell? Be happy while you're in Don't bother. I've seen other papers. Do you really want to do this? And bring it up.
Welcome to Horrible Writing, the rawest, most candid, in-your-face writing show on the interwebs because none of us have time to suck. Let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 44 of Horrible Writing. I'm your host, Paul Sading, and we're getting ready to launch into a new thing I want to try to start doing at least intermittently in the show to leverage, to take advantage of my experience in audio drama and hopefully help some of you. The advantage of having a broad experience is that you can bring that experience into new mediums, if you will, new opportunities. You can see opportunities where others may not be, simply because they haven't walked in your shoes. As I have gotten back into writing and pursued novel writing and checked off that bucket list of publishing Chasing the Demon, right? It's out there now, live on Amazon. Go pick up your copy if you haven't already. Help a fellow writer out. I've learned so much from so many wonderful people in the community. Other writers who have walked the walk for years. They've, just trial and error. They got a piece of advice from someone that really helped them. They paid it forward or passed it on. And I have in turn tried to help other writers, but one of the things I haven't done that I wanted to start changing was taking the time to help others understand how audio drama can play into your writing. Now, before any of you hit the stop button and go check out another writer podcast, I want to ask you to think about that. How many other writer podcasts are out there that say the same thing over and over and over about writing, about the industry of writing and getting published? Lots, right? We struggle to find an audience. Blogs are dead. You can't spam people on Twitter with the buy my book garbage over and over and over. Those things don't work. And you can buy expensive courses to teach you how to do Amazon ads and AMS marketing, for Amazon marketing to be discovered. And those are great. As a matter of fact, I'm literally currently enrolled in one of those two that I just mentioned to try to understand and learn. So how do you build an audience? That's the great question for any new writer. We try to create a social media presence, occasionally put a thing out there about our book, join Facebook groups or whatever it may be, get on Reddit, but it's tough. There's a lot of people putting books out on Amazon. How in the world do you stand out? I offer maybe not the solution, but a possible solution for you, a possible avenue for you to pursue, and that's podcasting. I have the fortune of having done this since 2011, so 7 years now. I just this summer will officially hit that 7-year mark. I'm very comfortable with this medium and with this platform, but I've done so many different things in podcasting that I can understand why some people might find this to be intimidating at best. Just downright paralysis by analysis of, is this something I should be doing or not? I can't do it. It's just, I don't understand any of it. So I wanted to start doing these, at least some of these intermediary episodes where I'm not interviewing another writer, talking about that. Now, I still want to talk about my experiences. This show started almost a year ago to date with the tagline of a know nothing to open paren, hopefully published, hopefully close paren, published author, right? I need to update that because I am published now. I'm very close to looking for advanced readers for my Christmas horror anthology called 12 Deaths of Christmas. So I'll have a second book out there very, very soon. And as soon as I'm ready with that, I'm going to start editing the second book in the Subject Found series called Rip. So I can get that out maybe about the same time and have a double release. We'll see. That's a little ambitious. But, early next year at the latest. And then I'll start working that third book in the Subject Found series so I can get caught up on that stuff and start working on other things in the future. I had a wonderful launch with Chasing the Demon. I really did. Even got into the top 100 on a couple subcategories, and that's with having nothing on Amazon except for scripts, like literal scripts from the show. When I released a horror short story called The Plant, it's also on Amazon if you want to help and pick that up, I'd appreciate it. But part of my marketing launch strategy for Chasing the Demon was to make The Plant free for a couple days before the official launch, in hopes that people would like The Plant enough to go, let's see what else this guy has. And, oh, hey, he's already got a full novel coming out on Sunday. Cool, right? I think it helped a little bit. I'll still be watching the numbers to analyze it. I mean, we're less than a week past that happening. But when The Plant went free, I reached out to my audio drama fans and I said, hey, I need some help. This is free for today and tomorrow. Go get yourself a copy of it if you want some free horror, and tell your fans and friends as well. And they did. En masse. To the point where The Plant ended up getting up to number two in horror short fiction on Amazon. Pretty damn cool. Everybody else's books around me, I've got the screenshot. I might include it in the show notes if I remember. Everybody else's books that were around The Plant in horror short stories had hundreds of reviews and some pretty prominent names too on that list. And then there's me sitting right in the middle of that top row at number 2. Who knows 3, 4, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how this will have, what this will lead into. I may not even be around. I may have given up this dream altogether. But I may be, a mediocre writer still. I'll probably still be a mediocre writer, but maybe I'll be selling more. Maybe I'll be selling enough to make a living just writing, which is ultimately the goal for me. I would be comfortable with that. Of course, I dream of having, sitting in a movie theater someday and seeing my book adapted to a movie. But, to feed the family and to keep a roof over the heads, that'd be pretty cool too. It'd be really cool. So I say that to say that I feel in a saturated market that you, regardless of your experience or complete inexperience at podcasting, about podcasting, I really think that it could be advantageous to the new writer to consider adapting something they've already finished, or something that's close to being finished, or something that you're working towards finishing into podcast form. I want to spend some of this series talking about that over this summer. Maybe we'll see how long it lasts. But for this episode, think about that. And if you're feeling immediate aversion to it, I want to encourage you to challenge that and not let your brain trick you, or your self-doubt or your fears trick you into thinking that podcasting is a step too far. It's something you can't do. You just don't get all this technology stuff, or it's too expensive, or I don't know a thing about it and it will distract me from my writing, et cetera, et cetera. Sure, there's a very legitimate argument that focusing fully on your craft and releasing great stories to the world overcomes all kinds of other challenges of being an unknown. And yes, I agree, it can. I also want to offer it to you, though, that another way to start garnering an audience is by podcasting. So we're going to spend some episodes, I don't even know how many yet, but I want to talk about that and I want to help folks. If you are on Facebook, you go into Facebook and you search for author Paul Sading, me. You can join my Facebook group there. And I asked some of these questions to the folks in that group already. I'm going to continue to do that going forward because I want to help those of you who don't have the experience in this and help you see the possibilities and do a real analysis of whether or not you could do this for yourself. I want it to be helpful. Of course, I'm going to also talk, from time to time, continue talking about my writing experience. Obviously, you want to know, how did the launch go? What have you learned? What will you not do in the future in order to help you? But empowerment through candor has been the tagline of this show since episode 1. And I want to just be candid with you. I think podcasting is a wonderful avenue for you to cross over to start building an audience for those things that you're actually writing. And I'm talking to all of you. Obviously, screenwriters, but poets, fiction, nonfiction writers. I think all of you have memoirs, right? If you're writing a memoir, honestly, I think this medium can be leveraged for you. So I want to spend some episodes talking about that. Hopefully, you'll stick with me through the summer. That's the deal. I want to thank everybody who has left a rating and review for the show. We're starting to get a couple of them trickling in, but it's not even near what the downloads are. So those of you who haven't taken the time yet to go do it, listen, this is episode 44. Either I have convinced you by now that this is worth your time or not. If you do maybe listen to most of the episodes, maybe not all of them, but most of them, take the time, please. If you're enjoying the show, take the time to go out there and tell the world about it. Just like on your books, when you get a review of it, it helps, right? Well, I'm asking the same thing for you for this show. If you're enjoying it, please go leave that rating and review and help me out. Now, next episode 45, I think the topic we're going to cover is going to be one that almost all of us can relate to: self-deprecation. I'm going to actually talk to Anthony Olivieri of 2 audio dramas. When I interviewed him months ago, he only had 2298. That's a dystopic, sci-fi-ish type of audio drama story. It's complete, so you can go check out the whole thing now. Binge on it before you hear the episode next week. The episodes are real short. And he has a new one coming out as well, but I don't want to talk to that yet because it's too early in his marketing for me to speak with confidence about what the show is about. So we'll tease you with that. But we're going to talk self-deprecation. Why writers do it, what purpose it serves, etc. That will be episode 45. Will be the last episode for a couple weeks at the end of this month. Actually, less than a week now. I will be loading onto an airplane with my family and heading to England and Germany for the first time in 20 years and the first time in my daughter's life. We are giving her a graduation present to see other countries. She's only ever seen Canada, and we live in the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of cheating. So we're really excited, but in order to do that and to not just feel like I'm ignoring you, the audience for Horrible Writing, for 3 weeks-ish, I'm just going to stop and take a break and not have to stress and worry about things, which I'm kind of needing anyways. So it'll be good. But you have one more episode before we get there. In the meantime, go leave those ratings and reviews. Tell a writer friend, post something in a writer's group in Reddit or in Facebook, and letting other folks know about this show. As always, if you are a writer, screenwriter, poet, audio dramatist, author, and you're looking for an opportunity to be interviewed about a personal element of your story, a personal aspect of your story, whatever it may be, check out the themes in past shows. We've got self-deprecation coming up. We've had empathy. We've had positivity. We've had ego, meditation. We've had all sorts of things. Mindset. I encourage you to head over to paulsading.com, click on that contact tab, and send me an email with your theme pitch. Let me know what you would be willing to talk about your personal story as a theme. And then, of course, we'll weave in a conversation about your actual writing as well. It'd be a neat way for you to be found, wouldn't it? That's what this is all about. All right, folks. I've kept you too long for one voice to go. 15 minutes. Hopefully I'll cut some of this out in the edit. So until next time, keep being epic.
This has been Horrible Writing, and hopefully after this episode you suck less than you did at the beginning. I am Paul Sading, your host extraordinaire. You can find me over on the Twitterverse at Writing Horrible and over at paulsading.com/horrible-writing. Until next time, suck less.